Hey, little guy.
You're cute.
Hey guys, what is up? It is your girl Ayla Bell, and honestly, I have a sneaking suspicion that I'm in the first symptoms of COVID. Honestly, it's been fine for the past 2 years, 2.5 years of this being out in the world at this point. Yeah, I've had a lot of scares in the past, but I have yet to ever have it. So this might possibly be the first time. We'll see what happens with it. Now, mainly the reason why I am talking here today is because I got my updates back from my doctor. So last time I talked with you guys, I had left off at the point that I have been off of Spiro for 9 months, probably more like a year at this point. We did this on a whim, knowing that there were some examples out in the world of people who had high enough estrogen levels through injections that they were able to go off of a testosterone blocker of any kind, because the body will naturally suppress whatever hormone is not most dominant. It wants to create an equilibrium for itself, and that happened to be the case with me. So successfully we got the blood work back, and it shows that I actually don't need Spiro or Spironolactone anymore. My estrogen levels are high enough that my testosterone just is not coming back, which is kind of cool. I'd rather not be putting more stuff into my body than I need, but at the same time, it's a bit weird. And they're having to take a look at it just because their estrogen levels are still quite high, like way high. So I do my injections once a week. You're supposed to do it like the day before you take your injection, or the day that you would take your injection before you take the injection, so that you can see what your levels are like at the lowest. I did the day before. Now I did it like Friday morning, whereas I usually inject Saturday night. It means that my levels should be way lower than they were, but they did come back pretty high. So the doctors are now reviewing it, whether it's something to be concerned about. Now, in terms of concern, it would be a long-term concern if they continue staying so high. And ultimately, it just puts my liver, kidneys at risk, and increases the chances of me getting something like a blood clot. If it is a concern, what they'll probably end up just doing is saying, okay, lower the dosage or don't take it quite as often. The doctor will obviously give me advice on anything to do that way, so I am patiently waiting for feedback that way. But for the time being, I seem to be pretty good. I'm just ecstatic that I don't need to take Spiro anymore, and that the doctors don't see any cause for concern about it being a detriment on my health, at least as long as we can make sure that the estrogen levels are okay. Sorry I haven't put up a video in the meantime. I've been trying to film a video talking about mental health, but when I started trying to film it the first time, I was in the midst of having a panic attack, and my ability to kind of tell a story or explain what's going on with me in any clear, communicative way was almost unbearable. And rather than talk about the emotions I was going through, I ultimately just started telling my life's tale of how my mental health journey has looked like. I think it would be nice to talk about my mental health journey in time, but ultimately there's a lot to it. There's a lot to unpack. There's a lot that in today's day and age might require trigger warnings and stuff like that. And there's some of it that maybe I haven't properly processed or worked on effectively anyways. I would hate to tell some of the scenarios I've been through in a sensationalized way that more glorifies or promotes some of what I've gone through rather than tells it accurately. But I guess that's the difficulty of bias and processing stuff, and either way, I'm learning to be content with my journey, but I don't know if I can share all of it at this point in time in a way that is beneficial for others to hear. Most of it probably, but I do hope in time, hopefully not too much longer, I can get some sort of video out talking about mental health, because it's something that's important to me. It's something that I think needs to be talked about. I might try and stay low for a week or so. One, because if I have COVID, I don't want to be passing it on. Two, if I do have COVID, it will give me just enough time to get kind of cleared up out of it, hopefully, that I'll be safe and okay for my birthday, which is quickly coming up, and I've got some exciting things going on. Just looking forward to seeing friends. I'm going to my first ever Cradle of Filth concert, which honestly might not be super exciting for a lot of people, but I've been a big Cradle of Filth fan ever since high school, so to see them for the first time now is just going to be absolutely wild. And yeah, I've got some other outings and things planned, and hopefully just getting myself set up in the country just a little more, figuring out where I'm gonna finally station myself, where I'm finally gonna live here in Canada, because classic Gemini, and in the height of Gemini season, I am trying to figure out where I might settle, and of course it's one extreme or the other. So just trying to figure it all out and trying to think of what's going to be like most lucrative for me. The focus on what will financially set me up the best for the future. So we'll see what happens there. Other than that, I tried out a new makeup look. I don't know how I really feel about it, and to be honest, the lighting is a little intense out here. Yeah, it really does not look great in this camera. Oh well. Hey, little guy. Sorry, I'm just getting distracted with the wildlife out here. The beautiful thing about staying with my dad is I get to see all these awesome little critters. We got hummingbirds and chipmunks and bees all in the foliage here behind me. It is absolutely unreal. It's a part of what makes it difficult trying to figure out where I want to live, though, because a part of me wants to be like a photographer out in the bush, just like day in, day out, like in nature, taking photos of all of this stuff, videos of whatever I can. And then who knows where, that could lead in time. Or I move to the city and, I might have something a little more lucrative there, but the city really closes you off from nature, can close me off from my heart, and I feel like it's a place that feeds your ego more than it does your soul. So I'm trying to choose the balance right now between ego and soul. And everyone who says, oh, well, cut your ego out, kill your ego off. Ego death is supreme. Nah, man. You can go through as many ego deaths as you want. You need ego. It's a part of how you have confidence. It's a part of like why you can go to a job and be like, I know what I'm worth and I'm not going to settle for less. Ego also helps you with saying, like, setting boundaries with like unhealthy people and saying like, I will not stand for or allow toxic behavior or crap in my life. Anyhow, I think that's enough of me just spieling about whatever. I will talk to you all soon or shortly or whatever. You know what I'm getting at. And yeah, thank you for tuning in, and whoever pays attention to this and keeps up with me, I appreciate it and hope to bring this channel back to life.